So we're going to walk through the use of the business plan template here. And I've revised it to include some additional options if you have different scenarios. Although I hope you don't get too crazy with your scenario for your sake and mine. Let's figure out a business. Let's see. How about Happy Hair Bows? That works? Okay, we're good. So that's the name of our new business, or my new business is Happy Hair Bows. And I need supplies for my hair bow for my business. So I'm going to say copy paper, pens, pencils, etc. $100. Marketing, I want to take part in the Harvest Festival. Might have a few additional expenses, so I'm going to say $250. My initial inventory is, I'm not going to have a whole lot. I'll buy more as I sell, so let's just say $200. Website, I'm going to do it myself, so there's just some basic costs. I don't have any legal or accounting. I'm going to use QuickBooks. At this point, I only need $600. Just in case I get huge influx and need additional funds. I'm going to have an extra $400 in the bank, so my startup requirements for my new business is $1,000. How am I going to fund that $1,000? Well, those numbers have already forwarded here, and I have $1,000. So it's owner investment. I'm going to ignore the rest if I don't have a loan because I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to include a note or how long that note is for or an interest rate or however much interest I'm going to be doing per year. Please don't let your loan, just for the sake of this class, don't let your loan run longer than 3 years. It's going to make it easier that way. Then I'm ready to move into my sales forecast and hair bows, and I'd put my my business name in each one of these items. So in January, I'm going to start my business. I'm a little sad I missed the first Christmas rush, but I am starting my business in January, and right off the bat, I get orders from a lot of the children's groups. So my first month of sales is 514 hair bows. Woohoo! I'm not quite as busy the second month, maybe 425 hair bows. Now, if I were painting a house, I might have 1 unit. If I were making something big or long that took a long time. If I were making sharpened pencils, I might be able to go more quickly. It just depends on what you have in mind for your product or your service. If I were doing a service, I would probably base it on by the hour. So I'm going to go through the rest of my month. 535, 500, 501, 477. Let's see, 316. August we pick up a little bit because we have back to school. 480. September we start really picking up. People are thinking about Christmas. 485. October 485. November we are at the Harvest Festival. We sell over 1,000 hair tie or hair bows. And December there's still some people shopping, so we sell some more hair ties. Year 3 we sell 6,500. Year 4 67.5. That's our only item. If we had more items, we would list them here. And I keep the name going because it's the same unit. and it's how much am I charging. Let's say each hair bow is $3.25. And I'm just going to drag that and run that for the whole first year. For the second year, I'm going to charge $3.50 and $3.75 for year 3. Next item on the list is the cost of goods sold. Oops, I forgot to put in hair bows. Hair bows. And now hair bows. So my unit cost of goods sold, what does it cost me to make a single bow? And I'm going to say that it's cheap. So 0.25. It's very cheap to make a hair bow. So there we are. And that's through the first year. Gets a little bit more expensive the second year. Oops, 38. So not too much more after that. And by doing that, I am now able, I am able to see that my total sales is $16.70 that first month in January. I'm going to spend $128.50, and I'm going to have $1,542 in gross profit. And both for each year, I'm only got one employee. Then I move into cash flow, and you'll see that there's some funky items here, and we'll deal with those in just a minute. First, I want to deal with marketing. So in my startup costs, I listed $250 for marketing. So in my cash flow, I want this to total no more than $250. And I already mentioned previously that I'm going to be doing the Harvest Festival, and I'm going to pay that in July, so $250. There's my total, and that's all I'm planning to do each year. Now, how much money am I going to take? And remember, these are live documents. You can adjust the numbers in the yellow area to your heart's content. Just don't touch other areas because it'll mess with formulas. Unless it's an area I specifically tell you that it's okay to touch. And I'll show you that in just a second. So I don't have any employees, so I don't have any employee salaries. I am the manager, I am the dishwasher, I am all of the above. And I'm going to take a salary of $500 a month. This is just a part-time job. And I may change as I go along. But my personal goal is I just want to bring in a little extra money for vacation. That gives me $6,000. I want $6,500 the next year, and I'm going to leave it at $6,500 for the third year. I don't pay rent. I am going to include some miscellaneous funds, but not very much, just $25. Just in case bows cost more than I think or something happens. And I'm going to go $350 and $400 for the next 2 years. I don't have any depreciation because I don't have anything that I am writing off. So I'm going to delete this column, or this row, and it's okay to delete this row. The one I can't delete is this total operating expenses, because this is the total of all of these indented items. Do not delete total operating expenses. Below that, depreciation, I don't have any depreciation, so I can get rid of that. I don't have any loan repayment. I can get rid of that. But I do want you to notice that that messes this next row up. So you need to go in and delete. If you don't have a loan, you need to go in and delete that plus #ref exclamation point. And then that number will work just fine. What you're going to do is you're just going to continue that all the way across, and the number will be fine. Because that was in there, you'll do the same thing here like you did before. It's not in your first column, so all you have to do is go to that bottom right corner till you get that plus shape. See how it's a plus and then it changes to this narrow black plus? Then you can hold your mouse down and drag to the right and it'll just give you the numbers. Because I'm working from home, I'm only working part-time. I'm going to assume that I'm not going to pay much taxes. And there I am. And I don't have anything for depreciation, so that area down there stays blank. So for this area, I am set. I'm ready to go to my income statement. Okay, I have a couple of adjustments I have to make. The first is the depreciation for 5 years because I don't have any depreciation. If you do have depreciation, you'll want to change this so that it applies. Once you've deducted that, the numbers fall into place and you're able to go to your balance sheet. And there are a couple of adjustments you'll need to make there as well if you don't have any depreciation. You delete that one. And if you don't have any long-term liabilities, any debt, delete that one. Then your numbers should match. Well, they have to match. These two have to match. And you know you're good to go. I hope this helps.